Welcome to my presentation. My name is Dr. Katie Lagan and I'm the course director for the BSc Honours degree in Podiatry here at Ulster University. I want to take some time just to talk through why you may wish to study podiatry at Ulster, tell you a little bit about what you will learn, how will you be taught, a little bit about the support that you will receive, hear what one of our students thinks about the programme who's currently on our programme, and also some information around future careers. So what sets our course apart from other universities? Well, there's lots that I could talk about with that, but for the purposes of this presentation, I want to really just talk about really three areas here. One is the fact that we have really the opportunity to provide very personalised teaching support to you. And that comes in part from the fact that we're quite a relatively small course team, and we do have smaller cohorts of students within the programme in comparison to some of the other AHP programmes in the school. That enables us the opportunity to really get to know our students and provide dedicated smaller teaching groups within the classroom. We also have a fantastic podiatry clinic which sits at the heart of our student learning experience. It's a top class facility. It's based at the Magee campus, and really that provides a service to the public, but from our teaching and our learning point of view, that enables us to deliver our modules and deliver our training to our first, second and final year students. Alongside our clinic, we also have placements that afford our students the ability to move into placement opportunities as they work through their studies. And we have an excellent collaboration and relationship with our Northern Ireland branch of the Royal College of the Podiatry, and that latter is the name of our professional body. And they're very generous in supporting us with prizes really for our graduates and also for their students that do extremely well in their studies as they move through the degree. So what will you learn? You really are going to be equipped with the skills that are going to be essential for you to start your career in podiatry, and there's lots of subject areas to be covered in order to graduate as a podiatrist. And these are just some examples. You're going to study anatomy, you're going to study musculoskeletal pathologies, and we abbreviate that as MSK or musculoskeletal. There's lots of medication to be learned about in pharmacology. We study local anaesthetics, the ability to know how they work and how to administer those. Wound care is quite a general term there, but we do lots of studies into the high-risk foot and how to manage patients with lots of medical complications, and also surgery. So we teach how to carry out, for example, the nail surgery procedures and the wider context of podiatric surgery. So there's lots and lots to learn within our programme. Our full-time degree, I've said, has placement that really weaves its way throughout each year of the programme. But alongside of that, we have lots of building blocks of theoretical modules and clinical modules. And these are just some examples of names of those. So, for example, our first years will study anatomy in a lot of detail. They will study the anatomy and the physiology of the entire body. They will also study anatomy of the lower limb. And obviously that needs to happen and carry that knowledge as you move through the degree from first year to second year and to final year. There's lots to learn around just all about the patient. So it's not just about the lower limb and the foot, it's about looking at the entire patient, knowing how to assess patients, knowing about the medical aspects of your patient, their medical history, understanding the medication that they're taking, understanding and being able to competently perform local anaesthetics so that you can perform nail surgery. And really the design of our degree has been carefully thought out and planned and staged, so that really as you move through your studies, you're building upon knowledge year on year and focusing into certain modules as you move through the actual the degree process. So how will you be taught? So I've already told you we've got a fantastic podiatry clinic here at Ulster, and we're very proud of those facilities. So that's one component of our delivery. Another is obviously our classrooms. We have access to a state-of-the-art classrooms where we've got all of the technology that we need for delivery of lectures. We have seminars, we have teaching sessions, we have peer-led sessions. So we've got lots of different really mechanisms of delivery to ensure that we cater for all types of learners. In catering for all types of learners, we also have online delivery. So we have got our lectures, we have seminars, we have student-led sessions. Students are able to deliver case studies whenever they're in clinic. We teach alongside colleagues in the programme, but also our students sit at the heart of all of that. So on a full-time course, typically the student will have to attend for approximately around 20 hours per week in the classroom situation. They may have dedicated modules whereby we talk to students about their level of independent study. We have excellent virtual learning environment through our Blackboard Learn, and obviously our students have access to that remote access, and they can really receive lots of information via online material and via live sessions with lectures and recorded sessions. We have again a state-of-the-art library which you can physically walk into, enjoy, sit and learn and study, and obviously you have access to that remotely. Okay, so lots and lots of different ways of learning, and as I've said, that's to ensure that we cater for all types of learners. So blended learning approach ensures that happens. We've talked about our clinical facility, a fantastic means for our clinical learning. And then obviously our assessment happens throughout the degree, and we've lots of different types, variety of assessment, again, to cater for our different learners, to ensure that students have the opportunity to have a choice, a variety of assessment as they work through various modules. And for example, that could be paper-based examinations, that could be coursework, for example, that could be written assignments, there could be research proposal at the end of final year. And again, throughout the clinical assessment, we may have patient-based examinations where students are examined for their practical skills, and then obviously workstations and objective structured clinical examinations, which are all set up and organised by the course team to ensure that students have an opportunity to be practically assessed on skills without patients involved. I've mentioned earlier that we have placement, and placement really takes place through our health and social care trusts, and really the title there, the real world experience, is very much an important line there. Students are exposed to placement very, very early on in our degree. Okay, so right from the beginning, from year one, we have orientation placement, and then we really stage it up in from first year to second year and to final year. Okay, so HSC placements in our trusts are an essential requirement of the course. Again, placements are typically 2 to 3 days per week in the trust, spanning over a number of weeks. And again, if you decide to study within our degree, you will hear all about the number of weeks that's involved in second year and final year. Obviously, our placement is there for a reason, and it's to ensure that you're able to build up your clinical skills alongside our HSC Trust colleagues in the clinical environment in the Trust. Also, we are required through our professional body to attain a number of clinical hours, and that's 1,000 clinical hours are required for you to practice. So again, that's a mechanism to ensure that from the university clinical hours as well as the placement hours, that you are in receipt of sufficient clinical hours of training. Placement also ensures that you are introduced to the workforce early on. So again, through the staff that supervise and work with you in your placements, you are actually meeting your potential future employers. So really, again, from first year, you're building on your professional networks from the word go. I am really pleased to say that we have excellent collaborative working relationship and a partnership with our trust colleagues. We have that's been ongoing for many, many years, and you see in that slide just on the right hand side that really every trust across the province is involved in receiving students for placement. In terms of joining the workforce, again, I'm very pleased to say that our graduates are very sought after and are placed in the HSC sector very, very quickly upon graduation. How will we support you? Again, I've said earlier that we do offer a high level of support for lots of reasons. And one of them is due to the fact that we have a smaller cohort. So as I said earlier, we really get to know our students. We know our students by name. We know our students in the classroom, we meet our students in the clinic. So really one-to-one personalised high level of pastoral care for our students. We have allocated studies advisors that work with you throughout first, second and final year to ensure that your studies advice needs are met, and also really looking after you if there's any problems in your training, if there's any personal issues, we're able to signpost you to lots of central support within the university. You will have a research proposal supervisor. You will have lots of online resources available to you through Blackboard Learn, through Collaborate within that platform. You have an excellent library resource that I've already spoke about, as well as the smaller class sizes. And again, you have access to a huge and a very wide range of student support services centrally within the university. So just to let you meet one of our students, and this is Shelley, who has kindly given permission to use this slide. And really, Shelley is one of our final year students currently in the programme, and she has just given you just some information there as to why she decided to do podiatry and a little bit about her plans and so on. So again, in your own time, have just a read through just some of Shelley's comments within that one. So our graduates in podiatry, they are high in demand, and they're high in demand because of really the graduate that we produce. So there's a high level of technical and professional skills that are attained. So we produce graduates that employers want. We are producing accredited and recognised qualifications with practical experience within that. And that really is encompassed by the fact that the BSc honours degree is an accredited degree. Okay, so it's recognised by our professional body, our Royal College of Podiatry, and it is validated by the Health and Care Professions Council, or HCPC. So on graduation, you will attain that recognition and you will be a HCPC registered podiatrist. Whenever we look at our programs, we've also designed the modules to ensure that each student is the training and has learning around the ability to practically problem solve. So it is obviously a heavily scientific degree, but within lots of that, there's high levels of creativity within that. We have got lots of computing literacy. We ensure that our students are meeting the needs of what employers want. Again, within that, we have students that have the ability to really work in teams. So whenever you think about that, you're thinking about the ability to work in teams in the workforce. And really, again, and early on in our training, we have students that are able to work in teams, really in clinical. They're able to work in teams in group work. And then when we move into placement, they're also working in teams. We also have students that are able to articulate and communicate their ideas. Okay, so really we have students that are coming out with as graduates with all of these skills. And at Ulster University, we're very proud to say that we see our students as a thriving individual. We ensure that our students are engaged in learning. We have students that are able to work as a collaborative professional. And we see students really that are able to be an active citizen. So really we have our graduate attributes which ensure that we nurture success for every student that really we receive into our programs. And as a result, we produce these podiatry graduates with these graduate attributes. In terms of future careers in podiatry, again, there's lots of opportunities, and I've talked already about the opportunities available to work in the health and social care sector. Certainly, there's opportunities for students to attend for private practice placement and to learn all about private practice within modules, and also for future careers. So again, there's opportunities to move into private practice sector following graduation. There has been a shortage of podiatrists throughout the UK. I'm pleased to say that really in terms of graduate opportunities, there's lots of opportunities now to work in the HSE sector upon graduation. Again, postgraduate opportunities are very much available. Certainly at Ulster University, we offer postgraduate training, we offer masters, we offer PhDs, and also graduates will have the opportunity to again choose into pathways which may lead to training into the podiatric surgery pathway. Again, that's taught and introduced in the end of final year, where again you'll hear all about opportunities to how to become a podiatric surgeon, and certainly that is another career pathway that I need to tell you about. I've talked already the fact that our students, our graduates, are sought after. Okay, so again, very important to let you know that really opportunities are really very much out there, and now is a very good time to choose to train to be a podiatrist. Just want to share this slide with you, which you can see our campus is Derry, Londonderry, and you will see the UCAS code just on the top right hand side. That's our code for podiatry. You also will see that you can receive all of the information for entry requirements and lots more information at ulster.ac.uk, or scanning the code just on the bottom right hand side of the slide there. Okay, so useful slide just to have a look through, and there's lots within that which really I've talked about in the preceding slides, but certainly have a look through just that one. Important for me to tell you that our courses are continually being reviewed, and that's to enable us to take advantage of lots of innovative teaching approaches and developments in research and the professions. So please be aware that modules may change for your year of entry. So the exact modules available and their order may vary depending on course updates, depending perhaps on staff availability, depending on the timetable and student demand. So again, just a piece of advice is contact the course team or myself as course director for the most up-to-date module list. Just to tell you a little bit about our campus, so you know that we are located on the McGee campus, and that is obviously in Derry / Londonderry. That's located in the heart of Northern Ireland's second city, and really I want to share with you, it's a very vibrant city, plenty of nightlife complemented by a wide range of cultural venues and city festivals. And again, I know that's really important for you to hear about that as hopefully a prospective student, and to be able to avail of and enjoy really a really nice student life experience in a very vibrant city. Entry requirements are published on the website, and a very important email address for you, in that if you have any questions around entry requirements, please email just at that, admissions@ulster.ac.uk. The entry requirements, though, should be on the website, but sometimes we get queries around equivalencies, and the admissions team are very, very happy to answer any queries around that one. If you need any more information, that's the info in front of you, ulster.ac.uk, or study@ulster.ac.uk. Okay, so I'm going to really leave you with the question. If you're ready to apply, you are looking at ucas.com. Thank you very much for listening, and all the very best in your future applications.